Thompson.
Thompson, that's right. All right,
Thompson,
guys.
yeah.
Hello, welcome back. This is Burning Ravens Fjord session 8, I believe. I
Yeah,
didn't
pretty
do
sure
any
it is.
checking, but pretty sure it's 8, so we're gonna call it 8. And if not, wibbly wobbly timey wimey shit.
Yeah.
But quick recap. Last session, Arngrim was able to find a guide to take him to the Hill of Forgotten Souls
hmm
on the condition that Arngrim procures a slave girl of comparable value to Rivka via
That's
a
correct.
lost duel of wits with a major compromise.
That's it.
So I believe we have a new belief written regarding that for this session.
Yes,
Care to share with our viewers?
my original belief is unchanged, which is I will lift a curse by killing the witch with a weapon forged from my father's bones. I will start by finding his bones. So we're working on that. Second belief remains unchanged. Fortune favors the brave. I will act boldly. So we wrote a new belief for tonight, and it's I'll steal the map and reach my destination without having to kill Domson, because I don't want to give him a slave girl, and I'd rather not kill him if I can manage it.
Because
I will
after
if he leaves me no
discussion,
choice, but
yeah, for sure. Because after discussion, we decided that the part of the world he's in, slavery, is illegal, which means he can't just go buy a slave and give it to him. He would have to, kidnap some unsuspecting young woman and sell her into slavery to him.
that's
And
true.
Arngrim won't play that.
No. Not to mention, I don't think I have any cash die left. So,
You got resources now, though, don't you? You
yeah,
got a exponent of 1 now, right?
that's correct. That's correct. I don't know how much slaves go for, but I'd rather avoid that
I
whole
feel like
thing.
a
So,
good slave would go for 3.
yeah. So,
That seems to make sense. Like, you want a crappy little slave, sure, that'd be 1. But for like a good, long-lasting slave that somebody's gonna appreciate and enjoy, I feel like
uh
that'd be at least a 3. But hopefully, if everything goes right, we won't have to find that out. But it is Burning Wheel, and nothing tends to go to plan. Unless
That's
you're
true.
Donald Trine, and then he pulls some shit out of his ass somehow.
Yep.
So let's see. We left off. We were still in Neverwinter or Waterdeep, right?
Waterdeep.
Yeah,
Waterdeep.
Waterdeep. And we called it right there as you guys were about to leave the next morning to set
Correct.
off on your journey west. Correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm looking at my map.
now, did you ever procure horses last session?
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Part of the deal with them, where I gave them the information regarding the hall of
Oh,
betrayal.
yeah, that is
Yeah,
correct. I
as
remember
part of
that
the
now.
agreement, he gave us horses, which he was going to deliver to the inn, and arranged a contact with Thompson for him to guide us. So
So,
horses are covered basically.
traveling with you guys, aside from Arngrim and Rivka, we have Domson.
hmm
We don't really know what Domson does at this point. We
No,
know
he's a
he's a
trader of
traveler
some sort.
of some sort, and we know, he is a businessman and he likes to gamble. With him is his trusted bodyguard, Headley, and 2 business partners. Um, Moral and Wound.
All right.
And just so everybody knows how I come up with names because I'm terrible at it, I have the book opened up here and I saw Head, so I was like, oh, Headley. And on the other page it said Mortal Wounds at the top, so I was like, Moral and Wound. Works for me, good enough. That's how I choose most of my names. I just look at some shit and then rearrange some letters if I need to.
Yeah, we need to hook you up with a random name generator in the net or something.
Yeah, yeah. No, I need to do so. I need to get my PC more than just Google Hangouts when I do this. That would be helpful. That's going to be
That's
my goal
true.
tomorrow. So
That's
that
true.
is your traveling party. They are traveling in a covered wagon
All right.
with a team of 4 horses. You know, they're nice and comfy. You and Rivka will be proceeding behind them and your own horses.
All right.
And I feel like it's time for the resource cycle to come around.
Okay. Okay.
But it's or no, I'm wrong because we did talk about that. You only spent we got about another week,
Days.
so yeah. It's still gonna be a bit because what you did last week did not take long at all to do like an actual game time. So never
Yeah.
mind. GM mind's slipping. I've had a lot going on this week, so I'm a little frazzled.
Yeah.
Well, then I suppose unless you have anything to do, you guys set sail or hit the trail west.
Yep. Let's do that.
Well, let's go ahead and make ride tests for this journey. Something we
All right.
forgot to do last time we had horses.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Okay. So writing is it's way in the back of the book.
Yeah, it's 537 ish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait.
Writing
No.
is
Traveling is
yeah, it's
5:33.
533.
Yep.
So writing to travel distance.
Mm-hmm.
This is a pretty long trip.
Yeah.
So that's at a base of 3. You've got roads the whole way, so that's only ob 1.
Mm-hmm.
How fast do you plan on getting there?
I think if we're working with wagons, it's probably we'll get there when we get there.
Okay.
Uh, yeah,
And
and
you guys have riding horses, so it's
that is
plus 1 to you.
correct.
So you've got an ob of 4, and you have an advantage die for your riding horse.
Yeah. Let's see. I have a riding skill of 2 plus 1 for the advantage dice from the horse. That would be 3D, and an ob of
Rivka is
4.
quite the proficient rider, and she is able to offer you 2 helping dice
Nice.
for
Nice.
her exponent 5 skill.
So you said it's going to be an op 3?
Ob 4. You've got 3 for a long trip and 1 for roads.
Correct. Correct. All right. So we're looking at a total of 5 dice
Yes. So
against an op
now
4.
we need to talk about failure
What happened?
consequence.
All right.
And failure consequence is 537. This section describes 2 options for failed riding or mount-based speed tests, rolling or collision. It is an ob 4 riding test to stay mounted after a roll. If a horse rolls on soft ground, the rider is in little danger. To determine if any damage is done to the rider, use the thrown against the walls rules in the materials section. Use the horse's power and the ground for the weapon for these purposes. Soft earth and mud is -3 power, plush grass is -1 power, hard packed dirt roads are power 0, rocks and pavement are power 3. Collision is the horse's speed, it's the power of the attack. I think that a failed riding test is going to be rolling.
All
You're going
right.
to drive the horse into a pothole, going to like buckle his ankle, and he go down.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's
So
gonna hurt.
there's some risk of injury here, but there's nothing really for you to collide with, so rolling seems to be the appropriate thing.
All right. So, okay. So we're talking 5 dice against an op 4.
Would you make this a difficult test?
That is a difficult test. Yes. Let me just jot it down real quick. There we go. Uh, let's see. Do I want to put some art into this? I think I'll risk it.
All right.
Well,
Writing's pretty intense.
it's pretty
Now
intense.
I will say, we could break this. Now that I'm thinking about it, like the final destination is a fairly long trip. But at the same time, I suppose you're not going to be riding all through the day and all through the night and all through the next day and all through the next night. So I feel like this could be a moderate journey. Like you're going all day long until you reach camp. Whereas a nearby would be half a day, and then a long trip would be a multiple days ride all at once. So, and I'll leave it up to you. If you want the difficult test, we can keep it there. If not, we can make it an Ob 3 and make it a moderate journey, and then just use Let It Ride rules for each section of the moderate journey.
Yeah, let's do the whole thing in one go. See what happens.
All right.
So, so you know what? I'm going to spend one persona on it.
Okay.
Just to increase my odds a little bit. Let me just put it here. Persona, writing.
Rivka's
so one persona. Yeah. So.
Super pretty. Rivka is gravy.
So it's 6 dice for an Op 4, and here we go. Oh! No good whatsoever, so it doesn't really matter if it had been a... It wouldn't matter if it had been a moderate journey, because... Wow.
Yeah.
So let me see. Let's walk through that again.
So, rolling. So now you need an Ob 4 riding test to stay on your mount. If you pass the Ob 4 riding test, you're not going to take any damage. The horse is going to try to go down. You're going to be able to rein him back in and stay on him. And he's, like, going down to, like, a knee and whatnot.
Okay, so how many dice do I roll now? Just my regular skill?
Yeah, just your riding skill. Rivka can still offer you the same 2 helping dice as well as she tries to calm the horse from her saddle.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it because otherwise it's an impossible.
Yep.
Yeah. So, so it's an Ob 4 on 4 dice, basically. Oh, wait, the horse? Does the horse still give me that +1? No, wait. There's if the horse has bit and brittle, you can use the bit and brittle to get an extra.
Okay. You do still get the +1
to control the mount
test because you get the it's for the beast. A riding horse is +1. A war horse is +1 ob. A wolf +2 ob. A spider is +3 ob. Because you're on a riding horse, you get the +1 dice advantage because he's specifically been bred to be a riding horse.
Yeah, but on 537 on the same page, just in the 2 paragraphs above rolling, it says
Just
riding gear.
Rider and advantage die. So yeah, you can get 2 advantage die for it being a riding horse and having proper gear for it. You've got 2 helping die coming from Rivka plus your skill for an Op 4 ride test.
All right, so it's going to be 2 + 2 + 2, so it's going to be 6 dice against an Op 4. Is that correct?
Yes, and I believe that makes it
4. That's a routine. Yeah. Well, at least we'll get some good tests out of this.
Yeah.
Let me just jot it down. Ooh, nice. All right, let's roll it. 1, 2, 3. Still shy 1. So, well, it's gonna hurt, but at least I got my.
So now, to determine if any damage is done to the rider, use the thrown against the wall rules in the materials section. Use the horse's power and the ground for the weapon. You are on hard-packed dirt roads, so that's a power 0, and then just the horse's power. So the ground's not giving any advantage or disadvantage to this.
Yeah, the horse's power is going to be pretty tough because that's in the equipment section for man. Let me see, that's page 203. 203. Power, power, power. B6. Ouch.
Okay, so he has a B6 power. Now I gotta look up Thrown Against the Wall rules, which
Yeah,
is in the materials section.
yeah, which is a couple of pages down from the horses. It's 543.
543. So, thrown again, using the throw maneuver. Woo, 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 woo. When a versus test, make your obstacle. We don't need that. We just need damage. Damage of a throw usually counts as a bare-fisted strike. If you want to be explicitly cruel, use the following rules. Use the surface of impact as the weapon, which is what we're doing.
Which is 0 because it's just
Yep. Yeah, so it's just the
a,
power
B,
6.
a B6, which would be an incidental of 3, a mark of 6, and a superb
Yep.
of 9. So you use what? The successes that you got on the failures that I got are your successes?
You know, it's a little vague on that.
Uh,
Like, if you win the verse, because it thrown against the wall is like between two characters in like
yeah,
fight if you script using a throw maneuver. So
yeah.
if you win the versus test by 1 or meet your obstacle in a standard test, you successfully throw your opponent off his feet and suffer the appropriate penalties until he rights himself. You can choose how to spend additional successes. 1 additional success can be spent to do an incidental bare-fisted hit or cause a skill test. 2 additional successes can be spent on a mark hit or an incidental in a skill test. 4 can be spent to deliver a superb hit. Damage of the throw usually counts as a bare-fisted strike. If you want to be explicitly cruel, use the following rule. Use the surface of impact as the weapon power.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So
and
he gets
that's
1
all
success because
set.
I missed by 1, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
was 4, I got
we'll do
3.
it like that, and we'll make it incidental.
All right. So it's an
That
incidental.
sounds
That's
good.
good. That's a B3. That shouldn't hurt too much. That's just that's a superficial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just some scrapes, but we
Yeah.
got some good tests on it. We learned some new rules,
Yeah.
which I
So
feel.
superficial is a +1 and when
When
does that go away? Yeah.
you make a health check at your discretion. If you pass your health test, you're good to go. Let me look up the ob. I know it's not bad at all.
Yeah, and I'm just worried about the time increment. I think it's pretty quick, but in the spirit of let it ride, we should probably keep it until whatever first encounter we have today.
Yeah,
That sounds fair, right? So
sounds good to me.
yeah, because if I can just shrug it off immediately, it kind of loses its power.
Um, So, obstacles for recovering from wounds. Superficial wounds. To recover from a superficial wound, a character must pass an OB1 health test. If successful, the pain fades immediately. If failed, it remains throbbing for 10 minus 4 hours.
All right.
So yeah, that is like legitimately whenever you
Mhm.
want it just to be like, I rubbed some fucking dirt on it.
Yeah.
You can make your health test and it's done and gone. But if you fail that OB1 health test, then you carry that for,
For a couple of
10
hours.
your
Yeah.
fort in hours, which your fort's what, 4?
Ford is 4. Yes, so
Yeah,
6
so for
hours.
6 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, whenever you feel like you want to do that, that's on you. You can roll it now if you want. You can just be like, oh shit, that kind of hurt, and you're good to go. Because
All
I mean, it
right.
isn't a superficial wound. It's like bumps and scrapes and bruises.
Yeah.
It's just to do that in combat, like when you're scripting a fight. That's when it gets intense because you've got to actually script that into your fight, and then you lose that attack or defense. When you're not in combat, superficial wounds aren't too big of a deal.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's roll it just out of curiosity. I don't need the routine for health because it's not gonna my skill my it's a B5 health. So yep, and that'll do it.
Cool.
So
Good to go.
it goes away.
Why couldn't
Yeah.
you just gotten that on your last roll?
Well, because I wanted those 2 writing tests. You see, it was
Yeah.
I
Yep.
was
Yeah, jamming the dice and failing at that second test. Let's see how it is. All right,
You
so
know.
that doesn't happen until halfway through the day's journey or whatnot.
Hmm.
You're just riding a horse at a slow pace because the wagon's the one that's setting the pace. You could really
Yeah.
walk as fast as you're riding the horse, so it gets boring and it gets uncomfortable because you're in the saddle all day, and you just got a little distracted and you let him into a little pothole in the road, and he threw you off of it.
All right. It happens.
So that happens. Rivka chuckles at you. He thought it was quite funny.
I bet.
Can't ride a horse, and she chuckles to herself. The guys in the wagon didn't see it. They're doing their own little fucking thing.
Hmm. So I want to make uh, a perception check and
Okay.
see if I can catch where Domson is hiding his map, because I want to
Okay.
sneak a peek at it at night. But
Okay.
I want to see where.
Matt,
Maybe we
so
could do like a
are
link
you
test or
like
something. Yeah.
at camp or like as you're riding? Are you gonna try to like ride up and get a peek in the wagon? Like, how are you going about trying to figure this information out?
Uh, yeah, I want to look around as we are riding. I suppose just approach the wagon and kind of take a look around, see if he's keeping the map on his person or if he's got like a locked chest of
Okay.
possessions in it. That maybe see if I can catch a glimpse of him pulling the map and referencing it.
Okay. Well, I will give you a choice. You can either make an ob 2 perception, and if you
Uh
pass it, um, you'll have the information you need.
huh.
If you fail it, you'll be under the impression that he doesn't even have a map, that he's doing it all by memory. Or you can take a graduated perception test, and maybe you get more information, maybe you get no information, depending on the amount of your successes.
Yeah, let's try the graduated test. Okay.
Okay.
So it's a perception test. That's a B4, and it's going to be an OB1, so it's routine. I don't need routines for
Yeah.
stat advancement. So let's just see how it goes. Nothing.
Nothing. So yeah, you notice absolutely nothing.
All right, all right.
Like you
So
go, the wagon's covered. There's only his bodyguards up front driving. Everybody else is in the back of the covered wagon. And yeah, there's no information to be had at this present moment. You're gonna have to wait until you guys make camp.
all right.
Which once you guys make camp, through conversation and roleplay, you might be able to gain advantage dice as
Yeah, I'm
well, depending
thinking.
on what
Yeah,
information like you pull out of him as you're just talking to him around the fire or whatnot. That's always an option as well.
yeah. I want to talk to the partners and see if they can provide me with some information regarding the area. Maybe try to get the information from them. See if Thompson references a map or has referenced the map in their when they have seen it.
Okay. So we'll just go ahead and skip up to making camp.
All right.
They're tied up by some water. They're hanging out doing their thing. Tents go up. Fire gets made. Rivka's roasting some rabbit for everybody because she's apparently quite useful like that.
Uh
Maybe why he wanted her as a slave to begin with. Who knows?
huh.
Yeah, everybody's kind
So
of hanging out, eating, swapping stories, telling jokes, campfire-ish type things, roasting s'mores.
yeah. So I'll start talking them up. Saying this is
Together, or
some.
isolating one versus the other? Are you like doing this open? Because everybody's around the campfire right now.
Yeah, yeah. So that's probably not a good idea. So I just want to observe and see which of the two is more talkative, and just pay attention, see if anyone drops any information on where they're from, so I
Okay.
can get a.
Yeah. So through stories that are being told, you recognize Moral speak of a city that you know to be in Cormier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, shit. Now I gotta pull up my map. Which is gonna take time. But yeah, so you come to the conclusion that he is from Cormier,
Okay.
and Wound has not said a word the entire time.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. So, Morto's like my best bet here.
Yeah, he's the one that's doing all the talking, and he's doing a little bit of drinking, enjoying his uh, camp, I
Yep.
guess. Is what it is, just all the normal stuff.
Okay.
Mm,
So I'll try to wait and see if I can get an opportune moment where maybe the other guys go to sleep, and because if he's there drinking, then I'll stay up drinking with him. See if I can, or at least nursing a
okay.
drink.
And,
I don't
and
want to get
he
drunk.
he speaks of Suzale, which is the capital.
Okay.
And that's why you recognize it, because you don't know much of Cormier, but it's the capital, so I'm inclined to just say you know.
Yeah. So I start, mentioning how I think this is beautiful country, and it is quite different from my own distant homeland in the far north. The weather is more agreeable, and I'll purposely start saying, this Cormier. I've never been here in Cormier before. See if I can maybe get him to correct me or start talking on the subject. Maybe he's
And as
yeah.
you say that, he's like, well, you absolutely must visit Cormier, and most notably, in the Dragon Mirror, there is the Sea of Fallen Stars, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
So I tell him. So this is not Cormier yet, where we are right now.
No, no, we are still far east of Cormier. We
All right.
have
Is everybody
lots of
is
things
everybody
going.
else gone, or am I talking in front of everybody else?
Um,
Am I alone
yeah,
with him?
everybody else is gone to retire for the night. It's you, him, and Rivka.
So I
Because
say,
hang.
I have not seen a map. I have no idea where we are. Uh, could you show me where this place Cormier is? Have you a map, or perhaps Domson has a map?
He says, "Oh, I do not have a map. But Cormier lies to the
That
west,
away.
and is about a month's ride from where we sit now.
Wow, that is a very long time.
Yes, it is a long journey. However, uh, Thompson does have a map. I actually believe that it's his bodyguard that carries the map. He's the one that does all the driving and the navigating.
Oh, that is very interesting. Uh, have you heard of this place, the Hill of Forgotten Souls? Is that like a common stopping point between our two, between our here and our destination?
And he gets very, very quiet and very, very, very serious. And he says, "You do not know what you speak of. Do not seek out the hill of forgotten souls. Many a man has tried, and many a man has not come back. It is the place of the dead and of evil, wicked things. You must, for your own safety, stay as far away from that place as you can." And he
I see.
says, "I'm going to go ahead and retire. The mood has now been soured."
All right.
and he takes off to his tent.
All right. All right. So at least I got a piece of information here. However, I'm thinking that maybe making a move on a map is a bit premature because if we got about a month's journey between
Well,
here
and
and Cornwall.
that's the Cormyr.
Oh, okay.
The hill of Forgotten Souls is to the east of Cormyr. It's between
Oh,
you and Cormyr.
all right. All right.
Like I'd say you got about 2 weeks.
All right. So maybe I'll just delay a bit more until we're further along, maybe
Okay.
closer to our destination before I try to make a move
Okay.
for the map.
I suppose best course of action would be to determine how long you want to wait to make your move.
Okay.
Choose some skills to practice.
Ooh, that's
Like
right.
if you take a week, you got a week of riding 8 hours a day, which leaves you
Yeah.
another 16 hours a day, right? So
Yeah.
that 8 riding, 8 sleeping.
Yeah. So
So you still have.
writing sounds like the first practicing thing that we're doing.
Okay, so you're gonna ride for 8 hours a day and then practice riding for however many
Oh, I
hours a
see.
day
Oh, it
after
does.
that to get
Uh,
the practice in.
yeah, I see what you mean.
Like
Uh,
I'm inclined to let you do it, but I'm also inclined to put some kind of penalty on you for it as well, because like
yeah,
riding is exhausting work.
yeah, maybe not. Yeah. So what I will want to do then, in that case, is to have Rivka teach me reading.
Teach you reading.
Yeah,
Okay.
because she does know how to read.
She does
So
know how to read, but the
yeah,
question is, does she know how to teach?
that is a very good question. Well,
Does she have instruction?
worst case scenario, it just counts as practice.
Mhm. I'll tell you what. Roll a die of fate, and if you get it, she's got the instruction skill.
Okay, so die of fate success is on a one. It's the only die that
That's
rolls backwards. Yeah.
which is
So
ridiculous, Luke Crane. Why would you do that?
I have no idea, but I guess to remind you that it's just a die of fate and it doesn't
Yeah,
blow up with Arta. Maybe.
yeah, maybe. That is a good point.
Yeah. So let's see. Here we go. Nope.
Okay. So she does not have the instruction skill.
All
However,
right.
she is still going
Ooh,
to try to teach you. It is only going to count for practice, so there will be no rolls made. We know she doesn't have it.
yeah.
And she's just going to mark it as
It's practice
aptitude
time.
test
You know,
to
this
learn
this
instruction.
practice this practice thing, yeah, it takes a long time. It's 6 months for a
Yeah.
test. Wow.
Yeah. Some of them are up there, and a lot of that, and it really depends on how zoomed out your game is. Like we're
Yeah,
playing a
a very tight
pretty zoomed in game
zoomed
for
in.
the most part, but when you're like zoomed out, and you're taking 6 months and a year of downtime in
Yeah,
between your tours and whatnot,
yeah.
that really helps out. Or in Alex P's game, where he went into the well and he
Yeah.
wound up being there for like 6 years.
Oh,
He
wow.
got a lot of practice time out of that. That they just decided they went through like the skills that he used that he was like rolling for test while he was in there, and then
Uh-huh.
they allocated practice time for that over 6 years.
Okay.
So
Well,
like,
that makes yeah.
it really depends on like how far out your game is zoomed.
And that makes perfect sense. I mean, I could see a game like even Donlan trying getting maybe sent to prison, and spending some
Yeah.
time on a prison, and that makes
Well,
perfect sense.
and Griff, like he's gonna be month journeys back and forth running slaves
That's true.
across the ocean.
True.
Like he's gonna accumulate quite a bit of practice time. So
That's
like, yeah,
true.
there's definitely call for it, and it's just like, even if you only get a week, like, there's a week of practice time.
Yeah, I'll
It,
jot
it,
it
it may
down.
take a while, but it does add up eventually, and there's no reason not to. You're not doing anything else in that week,
Yeah.
or 2 weeks, or however long you decide that you're going to wait.
Yeah. Yeah, let's give it about. Uh, it's about 2 weeks to the hill. I will ask him at some point. How much farther, how many days to the hill, so I can procure your slave,
Yes.
so that I'll get a good feeling from where it is. And I guess I'll wait about 2 days off of the hill, when we're pretty close by, and then I'll make an attempt to steal the map.
Okay, and he tells you that really your only opportunity between here and there is going to be coming up here in about 8 days when we come across the village of Earlock.
Hill's Edge.
Yeah, Hill's Edge.
All
Sure,
right.
Hill's Edge.
Hill's Edge. There's a village
That's
called Hill's
really,
Edge in the map.
yeah,
So.
that's really the last village between here and there where you'll be able to acquire a slave girl.
All right. All right. So,
Yeah, 8 days to Hill's Edge, and then you know you don't really know how much farther after Hill's Edge it is in character until you get to know.
okay. But so he doesn't tell me how many days after Hill's Edge to make it to the Hill of Forgotten Souls.
He just tells you the last place there's going to be people is Hill's Edge.
All right. All right. So, so I'll tell him. Are we sleeping in that town? Are we going to be day for there for?
We might take. I mean, we'll stay the evening at the least, but if the party is inclined to rest for a day or two before continuing our journey, I have no issue. My schedule is quite leisurely at the moment, and if it affords you the time you need to procure my gift, then I'm very inclined to stay even up to a week if needed.
I suppose a few days will do. Maybe a day or two while I look around town and see what opportunities may present themselves. So what I'm thinking is, just going into town, waiting for us to set up at an inn or someplace, or even if he just, keeps camp outside the town or whatever, just know where he's going to be sleeping, and then I'm going to tell him, I will procure the slave the day after we leave, so we don't get anyone trailing us. So he'll think, so he'll put down his guard until after we leave. Uh, but then the night before we leave is when I'm going to try to steal the map.
Okay.
Kind of throw him off, with a timetable. So he
Yeah.
won't be expecting,
Kind of buy you a little bit of time to do what you need to do and get gone. All right. Well, we will just go ahead and jump to being in town, and now will be time for your cycles resource test.
all right, all right. So,
Base cycles test is going to be an ob 1, but you had debt from opening up that room and then going into the hall for a year, and she kept it open for a while. You remember?
that's
So
true.
that is going to up your ob by another. So it's going to be ob 2.
Up to.
Ob 2.
Okay. I don't think I have any cash dice left. Let
Well,
me.
if you'd like, Rivka can offer you a helping die.
That'll be good because all I have is resources of one. So if it's an op two,
I
2 dice. Yeah.
I would be inclined, if you want to make a link test for this and roll a persuasion with Domlin. If
Okay.
you pass the persuasion, you'll get the 1d advantage for the link test, and that'll just be like his helping die to you. The persuasion's essentially going to be talking him into giving you the helping die, but if
Okay.
you fail, you're going to have the +1 ob like you would with any link test.
All right.
Because you wasted time pursuing that avenue of resources as opposed to another one.
All right.
So that's also an option for you, depending on what kind of test you want or need.
Okay. So I need a difficult or challenging. So if I get one ob from, one helping dice from Rivka, I'm at 2 for 2. That's hang
Difficult.
on. That's a
Difficult.
difficult. So that'll
Challenging is always impossible without
yeah
Arda.
yeah. So that'll do. If I get an additional die
It'll go to
from
routine,
this
right?
guy, it'll go to routine, and I don't need a routine, so I'll chance it. 2 dice.
Okay, so on failure, you are taxed until you get a
But
job to replenish the funds, and you'll be taxed 1 die off your
okay,
resource component.
but it does advance because I ding if I hit it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
resources is it one of the tests that has to be successful?
I
Let me check.
believe resources is required to be successful.
Yes,
I'm
yes, it
looking
does.
right now.
Yeah, it does. I just checked.
Yep.
Page
Yeah.
44.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if you get this,
43.
your resource exponent is going to go up, and you're not in debt. If you fail it, you're taxed to 0 dice until you get a job.
All right. Let's see how it goes. Come on, come on. One test. That's all I need. No, nothing.
No.
So I'm taxed by 1, right?
Yep, taxed by 1
All right. Oh man.
until you can, get a job per the get a
Yep.
job rules.
Okay. So do we need to do that now, or because
I
we're in
mean,
the
if you
middle
are
of?
in town, you do have some time to kill while you're in town,
All
since
right.
you're not gonna, pop off for a couple of days.
All right.
So let's look up get a job rules.
Yeah, resources is still the part that gives me the most trouble with the rules.
Resources is one of the most different things about this system compared to any other system.
Yeah, it's the
Very
I
abstract.
found it the hardest to wrap my head around. Okay, establish what job occupation. Pick a skill to represent this. Test the skill. Appropriate forks are allowed. The obstacle is 1 plus the number of dice lost, meaning the
So,
obstacle recovers 1d. So margin
yeah,
of success replenishes the additional die per success. I suppose to the. I only had one. I only
yeah,
lost 1 die. So if I recover more than 1 dice, I don't get an extra cash die, do I?
no.
Okay. So the time for the test is equal to the current resources cycle.
Ooh,
But
so
see,
that's a
we're
month.
talking a month, unless I get extra successes in which I can reduce it by 10%. Uh,
Yeah, so your best bet to be able to replenish it here within your time frame
yeah,
is to pick your highest skill, put in
yeah.
every fork you can get, ask for help, spend some Arda, and hope to God you get a fuck ton of successes.
All right. Now let's see how one turns either sword or bow into a paying job. uh, wow.
Well, though you could even go so far as go hunting
That's
and
what I was thinking, but would it,
sell animal carcasses and furs or whatever.
okay, so would I be testing bow or would I be testing hunting? Because I do have
Oh,
hunting.
there's a separate hunting skill, isn't there? I suppose
Yeah,
that
let
would
me
be
see.
hunting. I suppose you could even panhandle with your bow in town. Like this is definitely a hunting village. There are going to be lots of young men that use a bow. You
Okay.
could you could go so far as to offer a challenge and see who can best
Yeah.
you with your bow. And just we can do the one test as like a big. It'll be like a big series of competitions across whatever the time frame is.
Well, is there a forest nearby?
Yeah,
Okay, so maybe we can do hunting. What's the ob again for me to get it?
2.
It's an ob. Oh, that's right. It's an ob two.
Ob
So we'll
2.
do hunting. I'll
Yeah,
do
but
hunting.
at Ob 2, it takes you a month.
I know, but
You need those extra
but
successes to lower it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll do hunting, but I'll fork in my forest wise for an extra dice. I'll fork in my bow for an extra dice. I will fork in my stealthy for sneaking up on the prey,
Okay.
and my tracking for tracking a buck or
Okay.
some nice big game animal. I figure a buck will probably get me the most money for it.
Yeah.
Uh, and
So we'll also be making dice.
yeah, so that's 6 dice, man, for an op two. Let's see how that goes. So here we go.
Now hold on, before you roll this.
Oh, I just did,
Oh, okay.
and it's good.
Yeah, that is good. How many do we got there?
One, two,
Five.
three,
So
four,
you do the
five
two.
successes.
So
So
then 30
thirty
minus
percent.
30% is.
It's 30 days times point 0.7. It's still 21 days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't help too much.
It doesn't, but you're off in the woods for, 21 days hunting.
All right.
Which is what that's why I tried to stop you from rolling it before you did, was to go over that failure, the consequence of what was going to happen with this roll. Because, like, yeah, you spend 21 days in the woods hunting
Yeah.
to recover this tax die, but you got your die back. But
Yeah.
now you got to go back into town and figure out what you're going to do.
Yeah. Is Thompson gone by
Oh
now?
no, he's not. He's still there.
All right.
You actually encounter his bodyguard on the way back into town.
All
And he
right.
looks at you and he says, "Come with me." He gives you a real stern look. This
Yeah. All right.
and
So
follow him to Donlin. Donlin says, "Arngrim, what the fuck, man? Where you been?"
I've been trying to make some money to maybe gather some funds and pay for my own upkeep. We're burdening you with our upkeep, and you're taking us to our destination. So I figure we might as well pay for our own passage.
And he says, "The burden is not your upkeep. Your upkeep is nothing to me. But time, now that's how you burden me. Because now I'm late. And while I had a leisurely schedule, I did not have 21 days of leisurely schedule.
All right. So
So, because you have made me late for my meetings, and I'm going to take quite a bit of shit for this, the price is now 2 slave girls.
all right. Uh,
And you have till morning.
I think we should leave then town, and I will. I have by now learned my way around this town, so we should leave so no suspicion falls on the caravan. And once we're on the road, I will double back and then get your slaves. So why don't we leave in the morning, and I'll get you your slaves the night after that.
This is agreeable. And he
All right.
shoots you away.
All right. So what I want to do is wait for everyone to go to sleep, and then I'm gonna try and sneak into the bodyguard's room and steal the map. Try to find it in his room and steal it, and then just get the hell out of Dodge with Rivka and our horses.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, this sounds to me like a link test.
yeah.
To get it all done. So, A is getting into the room.
Okay. So,
Either
so
a lockpick to get through the door, a climb to come in through the window. He's in a second-story room,
all right.
or see what else could we do? We could do a versus drinking test to get him sloshed enough to where you have to carry him into his room. But if you
Okay.
fail that, you're going to be too sloshed to do it. Um, you could try to seduce him. Like there's lots of different ways to get into the room, but first test is getting in.
Yeah.
Second test is going to be to find the map in his room, and his
Okay.
third, which is the one that the first two tests are going to affect, is getting out of town.
Okay. And is that going to be like a writing test, I suppose?
Depends on how you get out of town.
Okay.
If you plan on taking your horses, absolutely going to be a riding test.
Yeah, that's what we're planning on doing. So, I don't have any of those skills except for stealthy. But if the door's locked, there's no way I'm going to sneak in. Uh, so,
You could always recruit Rivka.
well, maybe if Rivka has the skill, because otherwise I would need to beginner's luck it.
She could knock on his door
Ooh,
or actually, she
distract
could
him, yeah,
throw rocks at his window
and distract him.
and distract him and be like, "Hey, unlock the door. I'm coming up."
Okay, that's a good one.
Or whatever the case may be. She could tell him down at the bar or whatever, like, "Hey, leave your door unlocked. I'm coming to help
Yeah,
out." And use stealthy to get in.
yeah, that's probably good.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, she could offer to buy him a drink or something, or
Yeah.
ask him to buy her a drink.
hmm
And
But so here's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a persuasion test to persuade Rivka into essentially whoring herself out for you.
okay, but
Like,
she,
you don't have to sleep with him, but Rivka's a pretty proud woman, and that's how she's gonna view it.
okay,
Right? And then
all right,
the stealthy test to get in the door.
okay,
I suppose perception to find the map, and then
okay,
writing to get out of town.
all right. I like it. Persuasion. It's a link test, so everything just adds up the odds. Okay, perception, and then it's gonna be stealthy.
It's going to be persuasion, stealthy, perception, writing.
All right, let's do it. I like it. All
So
right,
if
so
you fail the persuasion roll, Rivka will still do it, but she's going to expect a big favor from you later down the future. And convincing her to do it is going to take up some time. And
yeah,
that's where the plus one objective is going to come from. Is he's sound asleep? It's going to be harder for her to get him awake or whatnot,
okay.
and all that good shit. And then like he'll be alert. That's where the ob's going to come. Is he's already going to be asleep, and she's
So he
going
might
to
hear.
have to knock on his door like, "Hey, I'm trying to bang. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Leave your door unlocked." And then she's not coming back. You're going in the room, and at that point he's awake and alert. So that's where
Okay,
that plus one ob's going to come from.
okay,
If you pass it, she's just like, "Yeah, sure, I'm gonna do this shit for you," and she lets him know what's going on at the bar, and she doesn't have to wake him up from his sleep.
okay, okay. So let's do it. So it's persuasion. Uh, and it's against Rivka, so it's gonna be
Four.
like a. Wait, I'm persuading Rivka.
Yes, you're persuading
So
Rivka.
it's a versus test. All right,
Is it or no? Doesn't persuasion work against will?
that's true. It does. It does.
Yeah. So and she's got a will of four.
All right. So against 4. Let me see what else I can fork in here to make this roll. So I tell her, I'll we got to do this. We got to do this tonight. It's the only way. Anything else would not be right. Uh, uh, I cannot kidnap 2 women and just hand it over to him. That is an unreasonable price for what he's offering. He wants slave. He should go raiding and capture himself. Um, it is not legal in this country, and I have no time to get us involved in further legal difficulties. Uh, you must do this. Let's just take the map and go. So if she gives me any lip, he will go and intimidate her and say, we have to do this now. It's a simple thing. Nothing's going to happen to you. We just need to go. So that I can fork in some intimidation, and that's about it. I don't think I can fork in anything else. So
All
that's
right.
going to be persuasion 3, and intimidation is another dice. So that's 4 dice against 4 dice. So that's a difficult test right there.
That is correct.
So let's roll it. Oh man, nothing. 2 successes.
She argues with you, and she's just like, we might as well just kill them. Like, they're sleeping, put the door down, slit their throats, and let's get fucking on with it. But no, in your goddamn morality. You got a fucking demon inside of you. You could just release your fucking demon and let him do the dirty work. But instead, you got me going up there acting like a fucking common whore just so you can sneak into his room. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do this shit for you because I know we need to get there because I want this witch just as much as you do. But next time, you're growing some balls and you're putting their fucking throats, and we're not going through all this bullshit. And she storms off.
Yeah, man. I really picked like this goody goody Viking. I should have picked like a real Viking too.
Well, he might change throughout the course of play.
Yeah, I
He,
guess
he
he might.
start- he starts out pretty, goody two shoes, but maybe he gets his hands dirty.
Yeah, at some point it's gonna happen. So let's see if we can then make the stealthy roll. So the stealthy roll is now at an increased ob.
No, no, the
No,
stealthy roll will be against his observation, which it's a versus test against his observation, but I am inclined to give you the advantage die because Rivka just woke him from sleep for this test.
okay.
Like a circumstantial advantage die, but all of this is cumulative towards the very last test.
Okay. Okay.
So you're at +1 op to the last test right now from failing that roll.
Uh huh.
So now we'll do the stealthy roll, and so that'll be your stealthy versus his observation, but you have +1 advantage die because he's groggy.
All right. So what is his observation skill?
His observation skill is 3.
All right. So I'm gonna roll 4 dice. That's gonna be a difficult test actually.
Well, it's
For
versus, so you won't calculate the
oh,
difficulty until
oh
we see how many successes come up. Because his
that's
number of successes is going to be your ob. Which
that is
looks
true.
like it's going to be 3.
Ouch.
Wait, hold on, no. For some reason that rolled 4 and it should have only rolled 3. So
Yeah.
we're going to I must have clicked my button one too many times. So you've got a knob of 1.
Ooh, that's better.
Routine.
So that's actually a routine. Yeah. Excellent. So let's see how it goes. Ob of 1. Here we go. That's a 2. I got it.
Right. So you're able to sneak in the room without alerting him. So
Uh-huh.
now, final test is at a +1 ob, but you have a +1 advantage dice to the last test.
Yeah.
So now we are on to the perception test to find the map.
Uh-huh.
Now, I feel we need to qualify the intent on this, is you want to find the map without alerting him, right?
Yes.
That's the real intent behind this.
Yes.
So failure for this is you find the
Run out
map,
of time.
but it's on his person. So you have to snatch that map like out of his, belt pouch. Like just take his whole pouch and get the hell out. And then you've
Or
got him pursuing you, so that gives you the +1 op. Unless, if you have something else, I'm open to ideas.
I'm thinking if perception test fails, he takes too long rummaging around the room. Rivka is not up to the sleeping with him part, so he gets tired of her just wasting his time. So he comes back to the room and catches me up in the room. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
That
sounds
makes
good.
sense?
Yeah,
Because I
sounds good.
mean, like I run out of time. I take too long,
Yep.
and I mean, if I get it, I find it. But he opens the door as I have the map,
Yeah.
as I'm drawing the map out of his
Yep.
of his. All right. So what's the ob for that perception test?
Um. Oh well. First, I need to decide where he's keeping it. We'll call it an ob 2 because he's not the smartest guy around. He doesn't have good hiding spots,
Okay. Okay.
and he's not really, trying to hide it either. At
Uh huh.
that,
Uh-huh.
like he's
All right.
not aware like it's a map. To him,
Yeah.
like it's nothing special. Nobody
Yeah.
has reason to steal his map. So
All
it's
right.
just like it's just lying around somewhere. It's just a matter of looking around and finding it. So yeah, we'll call it ob 2.
All right.
One ob for
So
it just being laying around, and then a second ob because it is night and it's dark.
okay. Okay. So I start rummaging around the room, and I got a 4 perception. So it's a 4 against an ob 2. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, I got
All
it.
right.
All right.
Okay.
So
So
does that give me an extra die then for
yes.
the final?
So for the final ride test to escape town with Rivka in the map, you are at a +1 ob, but you have +2 advantage dice from the link test, plus your advantage dice for it being a riding horse and the bit and brittle
Yeah.
and all of that. So now we need to determine the riding test obstacle.
So are we going to make it a versus? Because maybe the bodyguard's pursuing us or something?
Well, no, because you didn't fail that last one. Nobody even knows that
Oh,
you're trying to leave town.
that's true. That's true.
So let me find that page. What was it, 537?
Yep. And do I get the helping dice from Rivka for
Yes,
writing?
yes. You can still have her writing helping dice. It would have been nice if this turned into like a horse pursuit,
Yeah.
but it's okay. Okay, so um, we're gonna call it a moderate journey from where you are to where you need to be.
hmm
It's gonna be a +2 ob. I assume you're not gonna want to ride the roads, correct?
No. No.
Okay. Well, it's fields,
Fields. Yeah.
so that'll be another +2,
Okay.
and as fast as possible is +1. So you're at an ob of
Yeah.
5.
Almost 5. All
Plus
right.
your added ob for the first failure makes it a grand total of 6.
Ouch.
But
6.
you have what, ride skill of 2?
Yeah. I got
And
7 dice. Yeah.
so you got, yeah. Well, yeah, you should have more than 7, because you've got a
It's
ride skill of 2, you've got a bonus dice for it being a riding horse, you've got a bonus dice for your bit and brittle, you have 2 bonus dice from Rivka for helping dice, plus
okay.
2 bonus dice from the link test.
Oh, all right. So that's what 8. 8
Yeah.
dice. So it's 8 dice versus a knob of 6, and
Which
that.
I believe is difficult, but like getting up
Yeah.
there in those high dice, like it really
Yeah.
rides the line.
Yeah. It is difficult.
Yes.
Let me see if I can forking anything else. I want a forking orienteering.
Okay.
Can
Yeah.
I do that?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
nice. So so we make it 9 dice against an ob 6, and that's my routine to ding my writing skill. Yes. So whatever happens, at least I'll ding writing. So
Nice.
what's my failure consequence?
So, failure consequence, we can go with the standard ride failure consequence where you get thrown from the horse or whatnot and take damage. Or, considering the intent behind this, I'm more inclined that they realize some shit's up and start giving chase.
Yeah, let's go with that. It's more
Like,
exciting.
yeah, well, then we've got, there's rules for horse pursuits in here too. So
Yeah,
we can find out who actually gets away, which we'll go into that if you fail. If you win, you get away without them noticing, and they won't know until come morning.
excellent, excellent. I like it. So let's go. So it's 9 dice against an ob 6, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I could blow it up with fate.
You could,
So
and you ain't spent much art of this game. I
no,
feel like you with a fate.
yeah, let's do it. Let's blow it up. One more dice. Come on. Yes, and I fail it. So we go to chase. So I
He's
don't
like,
feel
yeah,
bad.
I
I
failed
don't feel
it.
bad because if you want to fail, you're kind of defeating the purpose of the game. So
Yeah. Okay.
uh,
Um,
but it's a win-win situation. I mean, we failed it. It's still cool.
so the chase is on. If
Yeah.
one character is pursuing another, make a versus speed test. Do not measure speed rate versus speed rate. The chase is a single positioning test made to resolve an I'm running away from him conflict. Advantages in chase. Grant 1d for each relative advantage. Higher reflexes, longer stride, higher fort, and a head start. If there's nowhere to hide, like being chased on Satfall, then pursuer gains +2 dice. Other advantages are applicable as well, like being better suited to the terrain, and those are situational and up to the GM. Applicable forks in a chase, streetwise, stealthy, and conspicuous climbing, rigging. Other appropriate wises are legitimate. And then we go into who wins and who loses. So we are going to be using the horse's speed,
Stride. Yeah. Uh,
because it is a speed test versus speed test. Um, what is a horse's speed?
hang on. It's on the equipment page for man.
They have a
That's
stride of
page.
12.
Hang on. That's page. Man, that equipment
203.
page needs like a huge bookmark.
Yeah. 203 is the manish equipment.
There we
Riding
go.
mount.
Yep.
Um,
Speed is B6.
C6, and they will also. They're not bringing their whole wagon. They're just gonna hop on their horses.
Mm-hmm.
So they will also be rolling at a B6.
Okay.
However, you get a bonus dice for a head start.
Okay. How about? Well, the reflexes is whose reflexes? The horse's reflexes?
Yeah, it'd be the horse's reflexes, and you guys have the same beast.
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
guys are
trying.
both on it. So,
I would like to lobby that we have the head start.
oh yeah, you absolutely got the advantage die for head start, for sure.
Yeah.
Like you failed it, but you were already on, out and about before they found that out. You can also there is also applicable forks that you can put in.
I could try stealthy, although yeah, I could try to conceal my tracks or whatnot.
Yeah, stealthy
So,
fork wise would be appropriate.
which one did you say?
Force wise would be absolutely
Force
appropriate.
wise. That's right. Uh,
Like at the moment you're going through fields, but there are forests. Like if you want to use
huh.
forest wise, you'll have to detour into the forest. But that's absolutely
Absolutely.
appropriate.
Yeah. That's right. All right.
And yeah, she can give you a helping die for stealthy as well.
Okay. But this test is not gonna count for anything, right? It doesn't count for my speed or
Um,
anything.
I don't think so, because I don't think you can. Wait, can you up your speed? I believe you can.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, so yeah, this will be a log test for speed.
All right.
We just won't know what it is until we see what the versus outcome is,
Uh huh.
or we
Uh huh.
know what it's getting logged as. So they're
Okay.
starting with he's starting with his 6 dice,
Okay.
and I'm giving him a +1 advantage because he knows the land,
Okay. That makes sense.
and he's also going to fork and animal husbandry
All right.
to really get more out of the horse. So he's going to be rolling a total of 8 dice.
All right. So that's yeah, that's good news for me because I'm rolling 11 dice. So
Nice. All right. Well, let's see what happens.
yeah.
Oh, so before we roll, let's talk failure.
Okay. Oh, let's
Um,
see. Let's see what happens. If pursuer wins the chase, they catch up to me and are in a position to do one thing or action: take a shot,
yep.
dive,
Dive
tackle him,
tackle, follow
whatever. Yeah.
warning. Yep.
And that's a separate skill test at a 2+2 up disadvantage.
Yep. If you win, you get away.
Yeah. And
Unless the tie can be broken by a call-on trait, another length is run and another roll is made. That's new. A tie does not go to the defender in this. We actually and let it ride
ooh,
does not apply. You
that's
just
true.
continue going farther. That's
So
kind of
there has to be a clear winner. All right.
yep.
All right. So let me look at
Well,
my
all
die
right. Let's
traits.
see what
Just
happens.
yeah.
And he got 2 successes. And I'm gonna let him roll a fate point and blow
Yeah.
up that 3 successes.
All right. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 successes.
You got one.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yep. You escape, and I feel like this is a good place to stop and do Arta. It's almost 11 o'clock.
yeah.
I don't feel
Yeah.
like you could do much more in a small amount of time, anyways.
No, it'll be rushed if we try
Yeah.
to cramp in anything
And you
else.
got your map. Now, I do want to be very clear about this. While,
Uh,
yes, you escape pursuit, he does know where you're going.
yeah, he'll get there
So,
eventually.
yeah, this,
Yeah,
this isn't over yet. Yeah, be prepared for him to come back at some point.
yeah.
You have officially made an enemy.
Yeah, it's a matter of
And
timing, I suppose. Yeah.
as you get away, Rivka looks at you and she's like, I told you we should have just slit their throats. And that is where we will end it for the evening.
All right.
Which I had fun with that session. We didn't
Yeah,
have a lot of rolls, but we got quite a bit.
and it's
Not
always
as much
good.
as we got done in other ones, but still felt like we progressed quite a bit.
Yeah, and learning new rules is always fun. So I mean,
Yeah,
even if the number of roles is reduced, as long as we engage new parts of the system, I feel we did
yeah,
2 writing tests. Well, basically one big one with
yeah,
the usual failure consequences, and we got to try out the chase rules,
yeah.
which I think are very good actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Chase rules is
I like
something
it.
that other systems usually get wrong.
Yeah.
So I like the way that we handle it here.
I
Learning Wheel
did
does a
like
good job.
that on a tie that
It,
like I like normally how a tie goes to defender, but I feel like in a chase, Like, you go until somebody stops or the chase is over.
That's what
Like,
makes this. That's what
like
makes this into a subsystem as opposed
yeah,
to just roll a versus
yeah,
test.
it's
Yeah.
definitely different from the normal way Burning Wheel's done, but I like it. It adds that little extra oomph to it.
Yeah, it's a
So,
subsystem. Yeah.
mhm. So let's see. Driving the game forward with a belief. You absolutely pursued your belief about getting to your father.
Yeah, so that's a fate.
That is a fate. I didn't see too much of the boldness going. I think that's the second week in a
No.
row
Yeah,
that bold has not gotten you a fate point. Next week we should either rewrite that belief
or
or
act
break it
boldly.
bold
Yeah.
breaker, or really start getting back into that bold action.
Yeah, I'm playing this. I'm
So,
playing this Viking way to tame. I'm gonna have
yeah.
to increase the violence quotient
Yeah.
here.
Something to think about for next week is because this is the second week that belief is just sat idle, which
Yeah, that means I'm
is a
not playing him right. Yeah.
terrible thing as long as you're still earning Artha and going after your other beliefs. But
Yeah, but it means I'm not playing him correctly. I mean, I'm gonna need to bump up that violence instinct.
yeah, you are
All
Viking.
right. Yeah.
Um, so I did not see an instinct that made life difficult.
Wait. I got the third belief is complete. I'll steal the
Oh
map
yeah,
and reach my
yeah, you did
destination
get
without having to
that
kill him.
persona. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was
So
just going like right down the list, and it's got all the fates, and then all the personas, and then all the
Oh,
deeds.
sorry. Yeah.
No worries, no worries. So yeah, no instinct that made life difficult.
No.
You had opportunity to invoke a trait to send the story in a new direction, and you didn't.
Yeah.
And I hinted at it. You could have let that demon fly.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm playing him way too tame. I'm
Yep.
gonna need to step it up.
Yep.
Because
And
he's
for
got all
that,
these traits like impulsive and fearless and stubborn, and it's not. I'm not
yeah,
bringing them into play. I need
yeah,
to.
yeah,
I
I
need to
did not
refocus
see
on
much
that.
of it. So I don't see giving embodiment this time around.
No, no.
Um, I will give you right skill, right time though for a fate point for having the ride skill. That was
Okay.
crucial to you getting out with the map.
All right.
So
So,
that's worth another fate.
okay.
So it looks like you are at 2 fate and a persona for this game, unless
That
you
is
see something
correct.
else that I'm not.
No, no. I just need to. I
Really
just need to
hone back in the role
refocus.
playing.
Yeah, I just need to refocus how I'm playing him.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, and tonight's session was a bit shorter as well too.
yeah, yeah,
Like we started a little bit later than normal by about a half hour, so we only got about an hour and a half in tonight.
yeah. But that's
You still
okay.
got some stuff done. You still got some art earned, but definitely be thinking about really tightening in on
Yeah.
those beliefs and those traits and whatnot that you've chosen, and really get back into the mindset of Arngrim, because he is a Viking. He's fearless. He's stubborn. He's impulsive. Like, he will hack your shit up,
That's true.
and he has
That's
a
true. I
fucking
should.
demon inside of him.
Yeah, I should have just,
And
you know.
you have that spell-like ability as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So
I should have done it as Rivka said. Just kill him.
yeah, yeah. But and you can always change your act boldly belief to something that is more fitting to the playstyle that you've chosen from here on out. If that's another route
Yeah,
you can go, or you can keep it and then alter your role playing back to that bold type stuff.
yeah. I think it's gonna be more fun if I just refocus him back into because in the original, in the first couple of sessions, I was on
Yeah,
it. You know, it was
yeah, you were
everything. I was on it. I kind of. I don't know what happened. He softened. He softened up.
softened up a little bit. He's
Yeah,
just coming to terms with the demon inside of him.
yeah. I
Maybe he's
think
afraid that if he's not soft, the demon will find an outlet. Who knows?
that's
But
true.
definitely something we should take into account for the next session
Yeah.
and be aware of.
All right.
Still had a good session. We still got you accomplished. You're one step closer to making it to the moon stair and finding out what's become of your father.
That is true. Excellent. So we'll
Perfect.
meet up on Thursday,
Thursday.
if things go
Yes,
right.
for
And
time. And I'll get some
yeah,
beliefs to you tomorrow. I have a general idea of what I want to do for Thursday's session. And it's
yeah,
just
you're missing.
putting that idea in the form of beliefs.
Yeah, I think you're missing one belief that you have to refocus. But go ahead and review them all.
Well, well,
And
I've got the big overarching belief that I've got like
it's never
broken that I
gonna
break
stop.
down
Yeah,
into the pieces. That needs refocused, and then I've got a blank belief as well.
exactly. Yeah,
And
so
excited to try that new Manhunter instinct next week or
that's
Thursday.
true. That's true.
That'll be good. Start working up that dossier.
Yeah,
But I will see you Thursday. I'm gonna go play some video games and be lazy for the night.
excellent. Thanks a
And
lot, man.
to the viewer that came back in, we appreciate you coming out and watching. We've been having a lot of fun doing this for everybody, so I'm glad people are enjoying it as well.
Yeah,
Everybody have a great night.
good night.